guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Bree if you are new here, and welcome back to Palette Throwback Thursdays. In today's video, I'm going to be pairing together the Colourpop Blowin Smoke Palette. That is incredibly difficult to open. This is what the inside looks like, just monochromatic blacks and grays. And I'm going to be pairing it together with the Colourpop Super Shock Shadow in I Heart This. So if you guys are interested in seeing me pair these two products together, then just keep on watching. Alright, I'm feeling like working darkest to lightest today. So I'm going to start off with a really tiny fluffy brush, and I'm going to dip into the shade Let's Do It, literally the matte black, and I'm going to put that on my inner and outer corners. This isn't necessary to work darkest to lightest with this palette, but I find that when I'm predominantly featuring a black shade, I like to start with the black so that I get the most pigment with like it sticking down to the primer. But if you want to go just like a little bit softer and have the black be not quite as black, then you could work lightest to darkest and it just won't be quite as pigmented. I like the freedom to be able to be just a little bit more messy with the black and then just kind of work it out later, as opposed to working lightest to darkest. Like I have to be really conscious of where I put my black. Alright, next up, into a slightly larger brush, I'm going to dip into the shade Slated and just start working on this blend. And actually I'm going to skip the middle step really quick. I'm going to take a large fluffy brush and I'm going to dip into the shade Stone Faced and just really lay that down, and then I'll go back in with the kind of middle toned Ignite shade and use that to just really finesse any blending that needs to be blended. In other news, I was shaving my eyebrows this morning and I cut right there. Accident. Brushes don't feel the greatest. Alright, so now I'm going to work back down. I'm going to actually start out with Ignite, just kind of really soften up those differences, and then I'll go back in with Slated and Let's Do It and just intensify everything. Alright, next up, I feel like you could have guessed this, I'm going to go in with the Colourpop Super Shock Shadow in the shade I Heart This on my little fingies and to go on the center of my lids. This was one of those pairings that I just got really fucking lucky with. Like, cool toned eyeshadow, cool toned Super Shock. Cool. Like, it just worked. I'm going to jump off. I'm not putting on a wing today, I'm just going to line my lash line with a little bit of liquid liner. Put on my base and I'll be back to continue working on this look. Alright, for my under eyes I just went in with the same colors and just smoked it out. For my bronzer, I'm going to go in with the BH Miss Claus palette, and I'm going to start off in Sugar Daddy and then probably put on just a little bit of Spiked Cocoa just to deepen up like the very edges. Side note, by the way, I cracked the window, so if you hear like more car sounds, that's what it is, and birds apparently. Alright, for this one you're going to get a little sneak peek of my haul that's coming up very soon, because I'm going to be using the Physicians Formula Butter Blush. This is the Matte Monoi Butter Blush in Mauve Mattes. You're gonna see in this video that I learned how to apply this blush, because when you see the haul, you're like, what the fuck does she do? This blush is V pigmented, incredibly pigmented. So I found the right brush to use with it. And it's still a very pigmented blush, but I figured out like how to actually make it look a lot better than it did before in that video. Alright, for my highlight, I'm actually going to pull out an old palette. This is the Rachhloves and Pixi palette, and I'm going to go into the shade Lace. Just use that as my highlight. Alright, I'm going to jump off and finish up the rest of my face. For my lips, I'm going to use something else from my haul. This is the Lawless Forget the Filler Lip Plumping Line Smoothing Gloss, and I have the shade Velvet, and I will be right back. Alright guys, so this is the final look. I love the way that it turned out. Like, smoky halo eyes are one of my favorite eyeshadow styles to do, so and I love black eyeshadow. It's my old emo kid roots just coming out to play, you know? I love it. So, I'm happy, and I hope that you're happy. But that's gonna wrap up today's video using the Colourpop Blowin Smoke Palette and the Colourpop Super Shock Shadow in the shade I Heart This. Comment down below and let me know how you would pair these two products together. I would love to know. Please subscribe if you have not already. It would mean the world to me. Like this video, ring the bell, do all the things. I hope that you guys have an awesome day, and I'll see you guys in my next one. Bye!